This presentation, titled The Certainty of Heaven, examines how earthly values differ from ultimate spiritual value. We will deconstruct what we prize in this world and contrast it with a state of complete peace, drawing on principles from A Course in Miracles to guide our reflection. Here we are reminded that, once united in heaven, none of our current priorities will matter. This challenges us to reassess what we invest in today. If our future state renders these values obsolete, how might that reshape our decisions, goals, and definitions of success now? Worldly value is shown as fragmented, like a pearl broken into pieces. Because we value many things only partially, their overall worth collapses to zero. Spiritually, value must be whole and undivided. This invites us to question where our attention is split and what that costs us in peace. To value something only partially is to misunderstand it. The slide contrasts fractured worldly valuations with the wholeness of truth. In learning terms, partial commitment to truth yields confusion. Full commitment yields clarity. Our task is to move from fragmented to unified valuing. True value resides where God has placed it, and there it is entirely, not partly, valuable. This reframes value as discovered, not invented. Our role is less to assign worth and more to recognize it where it already exists, aligning our priorities with a stable, higher standard. On the left, judgment wavers like an unstable scale, driven by ego, comparison, and constant reassessment. On the right, establishment is firm and illuminated, representing divine certainty. What God esteems is beyond our rating systems. It is already and permanently established. Truth presents a simple binary. We either appreciate it or we do not. When we judge, we fracture wholeness and lose sight of value. When we appreciate, we receive value as it is. Educationally, this suggests shifting from critical comparison toward receptive understanding of truth. Heaven is described as containing everything God values and nothing else. This is a highly selective environment, free of distractions and false priorities. It models a focused mindset, retaining only what is genuinely valuable and allowing all lesser attachments to fall away. Heaven is perfectly unambiguous. Everything is clear and bright. Ambiguity, which drives much of our anxiety and conflict, is absent. Spiritually, this points to a state where there is no mixed message about worth, purpose, or identity, only transparent, shared understanding. Such clarity calls forth one unified response. The scattered arrows depict divided will, which is exhausting. The single golden arrow represents the peace of absolute certainty. When value is unquestioned, our energy is no longer split, and our actions become coherent and restful. In heaven, there is no darkness and therefore no contrast. Light does not compete with shadow, it simply is. This challenges our reliance on opposites, success versus failure, gain versus loss, as learning tools. Ultimate truth teaches without needing a contrasting error. Here we learn there is no variation and no interruption. Value does not fluctuate with mood, market, or opinion. Peace is continuous rather than episodic. This invites us to imagine a state where our sense of worth and safety is not periodically threatened but permanently secure. This comparison contrasts the world of the ego with the certainty of heaven. Ego's world is self-made, fractured, partial, judged, and filled with darkness and restless dreams. Heaven, by contrast, is established by God, wholly valuable, appreciated, clear, bright, and peacefully uninterrupted. The closing quotation describes a peace so deep that no worldly dream can even hint at it. This suggests that our highest experiences of calm are only faint previews. From a learning perspective, it motivates us to keep seeking beyond familiar comforts toward a radically deeper peace. We end with a single word: uninterrupted. This encapsulates the message of heaven's certainty: peace that does not break, value that does not shift, light that does not dim. As we conclude, we are invited to measure our current priorities against this standard of continuous wholeness.